you doing, everybody? Fantasy Philosophy. We're here for you tonight. We're going to talk you through your playoffs today. Going to go through some beast or bust. How you guys doing? Doing pretty good?
All right,
Yeah, same old, same old?
Fantasy's winding down. It's going to be a little depressing after this.
Yeah, we're going to have the fantasy football hangover.
Yeah, man.
You know, what are we going to do on Sundays?
We got nothing to do.
Nothing. What are we going to do? Cook? Hang out with the wife?
Talon?
Yeah, I mean... Pete, how you doing?
I'm alright.
All right. Yeah. You know what? It's late. We're cracky. We're a little hungry. Could use a cookie, maybe some ice cream or something. All right, let's get into beast or bust for Week 12. I can't even believe Week 12 already. All right. We're going to start at the top here with Big Ben. And last week he played Green Bay, 351 yards and 4 touchdowns. 30 fantasy points. The week before that, 299 and 4 touchdowns against Tennessee, 29 points. And then the week before that, 236 and 2 touchdowns against Indy for 18 fantasy points. Looks like he's getting better. He's trying to hit his stride in the middle of the year. Mike, Big Ben for the rest of the year, beast or bust? You want it for the playoffs, yes or no?
Yes. He's an elite quarterback. He always has been. And when his team needs him, he shows up. Powering through, he's going to be top 5 quarterback throughout the end of the year.
What do you think, Kev? I know you own him.
That's right. I'm with Mike. I had Dak Prescott, so I gave him the boot for last week, and Big Ben's been performing pretty well.
Yeah.
I mentioned in the podcast video that we did, he's taking control of that offense. It's no more, settle down, run the ball to Le'Veon. It's hurry up, and he's slinging the ball. And the coaches are confident in Big Ben. And I think he's going to continue. He's playing New England, Houston, and Cleveland, and Baltimore.
Yeah.
He's got some good matchups going forward. Antonio Brown's playing lights out.
Oh,
that whole offense is clicking. Big Ben's a good start going forward.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I agree. I think he's definitely hitting his stride, and they're throwing the ball a lot more now. Le'Veon Bell's getting the ball a little bit less. Well, it's not that he's getting the ball less, but he's there to control the clock.
He's still performing.
He's still performing.
But like you said, they were, inside the 3?
Inside the 3.
First and goal. Did he get a carry?
No.
Not once.
No,
and you don't see that. And you really don't see that. It was
that's
4
what
throws.
Used to.
They want to, it was 4 throws.
You had AB scoring. You had Brian
everybody.
Scoring. Yeah. But the only thing I want to say here is keep an eye out for Big Ben's home-away splits because these 2 past games were home, and they were against subpar pass defenses, and they were able to put up 30 points a week. So against Cincinnati, if you're looking to make that push for the playoffs, proceed with caution with Big Ben. He's away against Cincinnati, who is not the worst against the pass. And, if you're expecting 20 points, 25 points out of him, I don't think I see that for him this week. I see him more around 15 to 18 being away. And, this is the first time he actually broke out. Before this, he didn't score over 18 fantasy points. So, obviously, he had 2 great games, but just, be cautious that you might not get those big numbers if you're trying to make a playoff push.
He's also playing 3 games within his division, and that division is known for having good games no matter where those teams are, and they're always tight. And he's playing New England, and the Patriots have their number. Belichick knows how to settle down with that offense, and
that defense is getting better as well.
Exactly. So he
is
a good
they are
play.
Home,
you just got to see how the matchups go.
Definitely. Pete, you got anything else for us?
You pretty much covered it. I think for the most part about the away streak, that how he's usually historically not very good on the road. I think he finishes strong. The way he's been playing, the weapons that he has are probably best in the league, or at least up there.
Definitely.
So I think Big Ben is definitely a play going forward.
And Juju's back now?
I hope so.
Questionable. I think he'll play.
All right, Pete, let's go to your guy, Phillip Rivers. Last week, is 434 and 3 touchdowns for 29 fantasy points against Dallas on Thanksgiving, so everyone's watching him. Besides that big game, he's really only had one other decent game. It came against the Giants. But, again, another guy who maybe is getting hot now. He gets Cleveland next week and then Washington, both not the greatest defenses in the world, and then Kansas City and the Jets to close out your fantasy playoffs if you're in there. So, definitely a guy you want to keep an eye on. But right now, is he a beast or is he a bust?
He's a beast for me. I mean, just lit up Dallas, who, a lot of people are, so it's not too impressive. But he gets Cleveland next week. He should do it again. I mean, don't expect 30, but the Chargers are hot, and when they're in a hot offense, it's hard to stop them. Phillip Rivers gets rolling. He starts yelling at people. He knows what he's doing out there. This guy, he's got 7 touchdowns and only 1 interception the past 3 weeks. I mean, those numbers are hard to come by, and he's the 11th ranked quarterback in standard, and I I'm promising you that he will finish as a top 10 quarterback in fantasy standard leagues.
Well, there you go. Promise from Pete on
Pinky
Philip
promise.
Rivers. Kev, you agree with that promise?
I do like Rivers. Maybe I'm not as high on him as Pete is. I think most of his points came against two teams that were kind of in shambles with the Bills going with Peterman and that whole kind of
good because he plays Cleveland, Washington, Kansas City, and the Jets.
Yeah,
All
I
in
think
shambles.
I think Washington will be a good matchup though.
Washington's
with
a little bit
Norman.
better.
He does have good matchups going forward. I just think that most of his points came against the Bills, who were kind of a mess, and then the Cowboys, who were a huge mess with Zeke gone and Sean Lee was gone. It'll be interesting to see how he does this week against Cleveland. If he has a great game, then huge beast going forward. Obviously, then he's real. And Philip Rivers has been proven to put up good points year in, year out.
Yeah, just watch out for those interceptions because he does tend to throw a few of those. Mike, you got anything else for us?
Not really. I think he's a beast going forward. But I'm going to stay actually a little cautious with Cleveland just because it's not really that competitive of a game. I don't see him throwing the ball like that much. I think it's going to be a great day for Melvin Gordon, maybe Eckler.
Browns are good against the run, though.
Although they just
have
that
to.
big
If the
game
game's not
against Joe Mixon.
competitive, he's not going to have to throw the ball to stay in the game. I mean, he's been playing a couple decent not really. Cowboys supposed to be a decent offense.
Josh Gordon is coming back. It may be a shootout.
I'm excited to see how he does, but I'm not. I'm not keeping my hopes up with Josh Gordon. I don't think anything special is going to be happening.
All right, Mike. Let's touch upon Case Keenum. He has 282 yards, 2 touchdowns, 7 carries for another 20 yards and a touchdown against the Lions. And then next week he gets the Falcons, 18th against QBs. What do you think? Is he a beast or a bust? I mean, is he going to break through that backup level and get to the starter level?
This is reminding me a lot of last year when Sam Bradford came in and wound up being one of the most accurate passers that we've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to keep going with it. I don't see him falling. He looks comfortable. He's not being pressured too much by defenses. The chemistry's just going. They're running the ball great. Latavius Murray's showing up. It's just everything's going right for the Vikings right now. I think he's a stud going forward.
Kev, what do you think?
And going off of that, I'm with Mike. Keenum makes plays in the pocket. He gets pressure. He rolls out. But something in my gut, I don't know why, even though the Vikings are playing so well and everything's clicking, they're running the ball, Diggs and Thielen are great, something in my gut is telling me that Bridgewater will play this year. I don't know why.
Let me help you out with that. Here we go. Ready? Listen to the quote from Mike Zimmer today on Case Keenum. I'm not looking to pull him, but every week's a different week in this league. This guy cannot commit to Case Keenum. I don't know what it is. He can't say, Case is our guy. We're going with him full force.
And he's playing great, too.
There's just this little thing in the back of his head.
Bridgewater,
he's just sitting there.
He brings a whole new element to that offense.
Yeah, but
I just think he's going to see the field. I just get the feeling. I don't know why.
I feel like Keenum is just – defenses just don't know what to do. They're like – they've never seen this guy start before. I mean, he started on the Rams, and he was just atrocious.
I mean, I think the weapons are unbelievable.
Thielen is a huge surprise as a weapon. Obviously, Diggs is there, and he's got McKinnon to dump it off, and a good running back in Latavius Murray.
And Rudolph's a good tight end too.
Of course, Rudolph too. He's big
unless
in the
he has
red zone.
a day like Nathan Peterman, he's not getting pulled.
But
that's all
see,
BS.
The thing
just
is,
for the media.
As we think, and I'm sure Coach Zimmer even has it in the back of his mind that he could have a day like Peterman. The way we've seen Case Keenum play, he could have one of those days. You know what I'm saying?
I think so. They're just waiting for the moment to capitalize.
Exactly.
I think they're like,
as soon as the worst thing happens,
when he throws 3 picks,
yes.
Teddy,
or even one,
the crowd
one
goes
bad
wild,
half.
the locker room loves
Teddy lights it up. Keenum done.
Yeah.
All that great
Teddy
work
trucks
for
a bomb
nothing.
to
You know what? Maybe that's what Case needs. He needs that little fire under his ass to help him go because
I think
it's
that's
working.
what's helping him out.
It's
I
working.
Really do.
All right, Pete, let's move on to Jamal Williams, okay? Last week, 21 for 66 and a touchdown. Also, a good amount of receiving yards to help him out there. He looks good. He looked really good. 25 fantasy points against a Steelers defense who, is not the easiest defense in the world.
Yeah, definitely not.
And the only thing that is worrying me, though, we're talking about Ty Montgomery possibly coming back and Aaron Jones possibly coming back from his little, weed break, whatever. And it could get a little messy in that backfield.
Definitely.
Considering all that, Pete, is Jamal Williams a beast or is he a bust going forward?
It is very tough, but obviously I'm playing him this week against Tampa Bay.
Definitely.
24th versus running backs.
Okay.
So that's definitely a generous defense. But going forward after that, he gets Cleveland, Carolina, and Minnesota. I can't really trust him. I wouldn't say he's a beast for the rest of the season, especially because we've seen Tymont do well, go down, disappear. Aaron Jones do well, go down, hasn't come back yet, so we'll see what happens with him. But Jamal Williams has had a shot, and then he kind of just he never. I mean, he had a lot of carries lately. But I feel like he can't keep up those carries if there's going to be more backs because literally there's nobody else besides him this past couple weeks.
Right, yeah. He's been the show. It's been all him.
That's
Now,
it.
I mean, we could have put Brett Hundley on here. We could have put Adams on here, Cobb. You know, along with Jamal Adams. I mean, is this Packers offense turning it around, or is this kind of a one-game thing?
I'd say Hundley looked pretty good. He looked like he's starting to grasp that offense a little bit better.
Yeah,
he
for sure.
He was hitting his receivers in stride here and there, more Devontae Adams than really anybody else.
And that was against a tough Pittsburgh defense.
Pittsburgh has a good defense, but they do tend to give up those big plays, and I'm not sure why that is.
That's...
like that big screenplay Williams had.
Right.
I don't think I'm sold on him fully with Montgomery and Jones there. So I would say bust on Williams for the next. I'm sorry. One more week, he's gonna have the position until the other guys get healthy, and then I'm gonna settle down on him.
Definitely.
Yeah, Montgomery to me isn't a threat to him. It's Aaron Jones. If Aaron Jones is in, I'm not playing Williams. If he's out, I'm playing him.
Because Jones for sure looked really good when he was a starter.
Yeah,
Definitely. All right, so I got Jordan Howard here next on the list, but you know he had one rough game. Whatever. It's Jordan Howard. He's gonna bounce back. He's playing the 49ers next week, and expect him to bounce back in a big way. You know, I really, really want to get to this guy because it's been a big topic of conversation for the week. Just the way that he's kind of been declining. Kareem Hunt, last week 11 for 17 for only 2.6 fantasy points in standard leagues. Has not scored a touchdown since week 4. Yeah. It's been a long drought for this guy. I mean, I don't know what happened. He came out. He's been a ride or die for many people, and he hasn't eclipsed 12 fantasy points in standard since week 4. Kev,
and that's my guy, man.
Kev, that's your guy.
He's on my team. He carried me through the beginning of the year.
Definitely.
And now he's been a huge disappointment. I don't really know what to do going forward with him.
You playing him this week?
For me, yeah, because I'm not going to play Amir Abdullah, so I'm playing. So
Kareem. What are your options at running back? Why are you playing him?
Right now I got Joe Mixon, Amir Abdullah, and Kareem Hunt. I'm not playing Amir Abdullah, obviously. That's a disaster. So he is a good play because he gets the volume. But if you have better options, like I would play, I think Mike said it last week, I would play Samaje Perine over Kareem Hunt at this point.
Definitely.
With how he's been performing. But the volume is still there. So maybe once that offense starts clicking, everything will get rolling and he'll start performing better. So it's shaky right now, Kareem Hunt, but I'm going bust, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I have him in one league in a PPR, and I actually have Bell and Hyde starting, and I got Emmanuel Sanders in my flex over him. So, I mean, Mike, is it his fault? Is it Andy Reid's fault? What's going on?
It's got to be Andy Reid's fault. I mean, we saw what he did early in the season, and if you're
the talent's there.
Yeah, the talent's there
for sure.
Was he hitting a wall? He's a rookie. Maybe he's getting tired.
If he's not even hitting the wall, it doesn't matter. He's not getting enough opportunities to even find the hole, like ever. You know,
he got 11 rushes for 17 yards last
nothing.
week.
Bell cow running backs should be getting 15 plus.
So you think he should be rushing more than 2 yards carry?
It doesn't matter because some of these running backs are getting these one big runs that are making their averages go up.
Alvin Kamara?
Yeah, like Alvin Kamara. He gets the screen, you know. He gets the big run around the outside.
Alvin Kamara had 11 touches last week, and he had 30 fantasy points.
And
Kareem Hunt had 2.
He plays in receiving a lot.
If you gave Kareem Hunt 15 to 20 carries, he's going to bust a long run. Or if you throw it to him 30 yards down the field like they were doing week 1 against the
problem
against the Giants, 18 carries, 73 yards.
The problem is the pass.
Denver, 22 carries,
46
yards.
Yeah, the problem with that is the passing isn't working. So they're stacking the box.
Yeah.
Alex Smith can't do crap.
In the beginning
so they
of the
can
season,
stop the run now.
Alex Smith was chucking down the field, spreading the field, making it.
He was looking good.
Whatever he needed to do, he was doing it, and that's what made Kareem Hunt because the defenses had to drop back and not let up.
They were biting on the play action, and then Tariq Hill was.
Are they scared? Are they scared to let Alex Smith do his thing? I mean, that's the first couple weeks he was doing his thing. Yeah. He was like he was an MVP of the league.
Yeah. I think honestly, the offensive line has been playing not up to their what do you call it? Not up to the
offensive line. Kareem Hunt. I saw a stat. Kareem Hunt in the first 3 or 4 weeks, or maybe 5 weeks, he was having 3+ yards before contact. Now it was like 1.7 yards before contact. So the offensive line is definitely not playing as well as they were in the beginning of the year. That's for sure.
Definitely. I mean, I think defenses are just getting it now. Yeah. You know, I mean, you know, I've seen
it's a combination of the team playing poorly and defensive adjustments. Really,
I'd like Andy Reid to say, you know, maybe we'll start thinking about Mahomes. just to get Alex Smith going
Like the
again,
fire under
like
him,
it
right?
was in the beginning
Yeah.
of the year when they actually were thinking about
So I
Mahomes.
think he got comfortable.
That's
He
what
was
I'm saying.
five. He was 5-0.
Slowly just trying to manage
Or
games
even get
again.
him in there. I could see it happening with the Jets, man. The Jets are the Jets. I could see Mahomes coming in there like Kaepernick that one year. The 49ers,
God.
but Alex Smith was a starter.
And that was
they,
it.
They were blowing him out. Here, Kaepernick come in. Big run. He was a starter for the next 3 years, Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And you know the deal. The Jets will be the team to bring Mahomes to life and make him a star player. It's
Mike.
the Jets.
Next week, would you rather play Kareem Hunt or Marshawn Lynch?
Marshawn Lynch,
Lynch gets the
because he
Giants.
gets the ball on the goal line. It doesn't matter who he's playing; he's getting the ball on the goal line.
Kev, Hunt or Crowell against the Chargers?
I'm going Hunt.
Pete,
I would go Crowell, but
Kev, Lat Murray against Atlanta or Kareem Hunt?
Who are they playing? The Chiefs. Well,
Chiefs
Lat
get
Murray.
the Jets.
Lat Murray, definitely.
Mike,
Actually, it's not even a question.
Lat Murray or Kareem Hunt?
Latavius.
All right. Alex Collins or Kareem Hunt?
Kareem Hunt.
Alex Collins.
Too crowded.
Doesn't matter. We've been saying it's too crowded for the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, but he's
still getting
too
the ball.
inconsistent.
He's still getting the ball.
Yeah, Kareem's got the volume.
Plus, he's banged up. He didn't practice.
Does Kareem have the volume?
He does.
11 touches is the volume.
That's because they were down, Mike.
Well, he
Alex
had
Collins getting more than that.
just the raw talent. I can't. Kareem Hunt. It
You
would be
got
hard to
to
put him on my
play
bench.
the better back.
All right, let's move on to Rex Burkhead. Last week, 13 rushes for 50 yards and a touchdown. Also a couple of receptions thrown in there. This is the first time getting under 10 carries since week 2 against Tampa. I'm sorry, over 10 carries since week 2 against Tampa. Next week they get the Bills, 30th against the run. You've seen a lot of running backs have big games against them. But again, Patriots backfield. You don't know what to do. We don't know what to do. We've been telling you to play Deion Lewis, and to be honest, it's been the play. It's been the play. You get in the end zone, and he's the main rusher. He'll get you 10 fantasy points a game, just purely on the yards that he gets, and of course he catches the ball out of the backfield a little
The
bit
carry
too.
stat for Burkhead was actually meant for Hunt.
Well,
I mean, Jordan Howard. That was Jordan Howard stats.
all right, whatever. Rex Burkhead, Mike.
But Rex-
Beast or
Rex
bust?
Burkhead. Bust.
You going bust, Mike?
I'm going bust. Deion Lewis is the guy there. I don't see them both getting the volume.
Kev, beast or bust?
I'd go bust as well.
Pete, what do you think?
I think he's a beast.
He's a beast.
Just for the reason that because that backfield was like a four-headed monster, but now it's narrowed down. James White is no longer in the picture. Mike Gillisley is a healthy scratch every week. It's really just Deion Lewis and Rex Burkhead. And if you're sharing with only two backs, we've seen success all around the league with two backs sharing. Look at the Falcons, obviously, but Burkhead's talent is there. They like him, and he's been involved heavily. And Lewis, I'd like them both. If I had them both, I'd start them both, especially against Buffalo, 30 against the rush.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough to think like, oh, I'm going to start two running backs from the same team. But in this case, it's possible if you're playing a bad team.
Because Burkhead
never
likes to get the dump offs. He caught a touchdown, but Lewis gets a lot of yards on the ground, and they both really do it all. They return, everything, they do it.
Definitely.
So,
Let me just say this before
go.
we move on. I know we are debating between Collins and Murray and Kareem Hunt. All it takes is one game. If he has that big explosive game again, I'd say he's back to where he was in the beginning. The Chiefs are back, and then he could be a solid start moving forward, especially if you got a big playoff matchup coming up.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with Keenan Allen. I didn't play him all year. He has the big game, put him in, and he has another big game.
Top 5 wide receiver going forward.
Definitely. All right, let's try to get in Ricky Seals-Jones real quick. He has 6 targets for 72 yards and a touchdown against Jacksonville. And the week before that, he has 5 targets, 54 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Next week, he plays the Rams, who are pretty stingy against the tight end. Mike, we know you love him. You raved about him in the podcast. I saw you picked him up this morning. Is he a beast or is he a bust? Does he get enough volume?
He's getting enough volume for me, and he's Gabbert's guy. He's Gabbert's security blanket. He's getting the looks in the end zone. He's catching the ball the balls that are being thrown to him. You gotta play Ricky Seals-Jones. I'm playing him over Austin Seferian-Jenkins in my league.
Mike, beast or bust?
Beast.
Kev.
Going beast. I'm with Mike, man. It looks like he appears to be Gabbert's safety blanket. So I'd got to stick with Ricky Seals-Jones helping out Blaine Gabbert. I'm going beast.
Pete, what do you think?
I got to go beast because think about Blaine Gabbert. He was a third-string quarterback, and I'm pretty sure they probably worked together either on the second team or third team,
scout team,
day in and day out on the practice field. And he obviously likes him. He scores a lot of touchdowns. He gets a lot of yards. He's looking like an elite tight end as of now.
Yeah. Definitely.
I mean, we got to see going forward, but I would say he's a beast as of now.
Yeah, I mean, I even, needed some quarterback depth on some of my leagues. I picked up Blaine Gabbert. I mean, he can't hurt. He's been doing well, and he's got this guy, Ricky Seals-Jones, to help him out there, too. So, keep an eye on him. I say go get him and maybe start him this week. Should be a good matchup to watch. Damn. A lot of good guys this week. I liked our little lineup here. All right, there you have it. There's our beast or bust for Week 12. Mike, Kev, Pete, Paul. I'm Paul. I'm Paul. He's Pete. This is Kev, and that's Mike with the stat mishap there. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at FNTSY Philosophy. Again, ask us questions. Pete's actually our guy on Twitter. He crushes it. So if you're asking a question, this is who you're asking right here. And, he asked me, of course, Kev, Mike, for help. But this is the guy right here. So definitely ask us some questions. Give us a little subscription on YouTube. And see you next time.